רוחות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We welcome all of you who are so comfortably seated within our sanctuary during this beautiful festival of Sukkot, the celebration of our bounty. And indeed, Dari gives us reason to celebrate a great deal of bounty in our life, as she will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. And we are also welcoming all those who are joining us over our live webcast. So just a note to all of our students, we're so thrilled that you're here, and your friends, Dari, have all come to share in a very special service. But please understand that there are many who are watching us over a live webcam, and if you're not behaving, they see it all. So we ask you to please watch yourself, because we'll check up on it on YouTube right after the service. Well, we are thrilled that you are all here from near and from far. You will all need a prayer book. It is known as the Mishkan Tefillah. It has the gold flame on it. So please make sure you take one and follow along, because there will be, of course, Hebrew, but there is English, and there is also transliteration for you to follow along. So even if you're not familiar with our service, you can still be a full participant. Now, the very first thing that's going to happen this afternoon before Dari begins leading our worship service is she is going to be physically marked with a talit as reaching the age of bat mitzvah. A talit is a prayer shawl, and what makes it a religious item is not the color, but the four corners. On all four corners are knots known as tzitzit, and they are knotted 613 times to remind us of the 613 commandments in the Torah. So, Dari, we're going to ask you to go take your place. I know that the talit is a gift from your parents, but it's going to be presented to you by your papa, your grandfather. We're honored to have him. And Dari, now face the congregation and repeat after me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehit atev b'tzitzit. Amen. And we thank God for the privilege of allowing ourselves to enwrap ourselves in the talit.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our Shabbat service at Temple Har Shalom. A special welcome to all those joining us over the live webcast. In preparation for our service, please take note that the sanctuary is an electronic-free space, and we request that you turn off your cell phones. I have worked long and hard to reach this day, and I am grateful for all of your presence. I hope that you all will be attentive, considerate, and will fully participate in our worship. Like the generations before me, I have prepared to take my place as a bat mitzvah today. Today I participate in my first Jewish life cycle event. I am now committed to a mitzvah and the teachings of our tradition. I pray that I may always understand my responsibilities as a Jew to show love to my family, kindness to the world around me, and maintain a connection with my people and her land of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'hiyamanu v'higyanu b'zman hazeh. Praise you, Adonai, our God, creator of the world, who gives us life, sustains us, and enables us to reach this time.
I'm going to invite you all, please, to open your prayer books to page 338. 338 for the Ashrei.
Oh, gosh. Ashrei yoshvei v'teha, odialu hasela, Ashrei am shkahalo, Ashrei am sh'Adonai Elohav, tehila leDavid, aromim ha'Elohai ha'melech, v'avar ha'shimha le'olam va'ed, v'chol yom arachika, v'ala shimha le'olam va'ed, gadol Adonai mulol ma'od, v'li gdulato in heker, Dor ledor yeshabat ma'aseha, ugvuroteha yagidu, hadar kivod hodeha, v'divrei nifoteha asiha, v'ezuz noroteha yomeru, ugdulatcha asaprena, zecherav tuhayabiu, v'tzidkaha yaranenu. Hanun varachum Adonai, erech apayim ugdul hasid, tov Adonai lakol. Va'ama ma'asav yoduha Adonai kol ma'asecha v'hasida yavachucha.
We turn now to page 342. I invite you all to rise, please.
Yit kedal v'yit kedash mirabam, v'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chai lichol u'v'yamichon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Bagala, u'v'zman kariv b'meru. Amen. Yehi shmerava mivorach, le'olam ulol me'al maya, yitbarach v'yishabach, v'yitpa'al trama v'yinaseh, v'yitador v'yitalal, shemet kudashah brichun, le'ela min korchata v'shirata. Tushmechata v'nechemata, ta'amirat v'yalma, v'meru. Amen.
There are such times when the love of God burns so powerfully within your heart that the words of prayer seem to rush forth, quickly and without deliberation. At such times, it is not you yourself who speak. Rather, it is through you that the words are spoken.
Page 344, we continue with Tefillah.
Open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasrei Avot V'imot, U'mevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shema Ve'ahava, B'chol Zeir Moshia U'Magein, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham V'Yizrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayi HaKol Atzarav Le'Hoshia, Morid Atah, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayi HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Maitir Asurim, U'Mkayim Emunato, V'Sheni Yafar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Mito Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matmiach Yeshua, V'Remanata L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayi HaKol.
We are on page 349, and we continue reading the English responsively.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good and not evil.
You are the source of life and blessing. Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling. Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive.
You are the hope in death as in life. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good.
For the blessing and not for curse, for life and not death, for abundance not want. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
נקדיש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמרום, ככתוב לנביאך, וכרזה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו, אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו אדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישביענו, ברחמיו והנה חיים. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור אדוני כגון לך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש,
To all generations, we will declare your greatness, and for all entirety, proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the Holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may all be seated, and we continue on page 353.
For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world, with our hearts and hands we give praise. For the peace in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For the gift of Shabbat, which renews us for life, we offer blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, B'amecha Yisrael Tfilatam, Yavo Tikabel Utilratzon Tamin, Avodat Yisrael Amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamachazir Shechinatu Litzion.
On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness, restrain our thirst from excess, and cleanse our hearts to survive life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life in peace and in joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod.
We continue on page 357.
For the gift of our souls, for the promise of our lives, for all that we are and all that we might yet become, for the creative seeds sown within our minds, whose nurturing can yield a grand harvest. For all these gifts we thank you, O God, and pray that we prove ourselves worthy.
May our lives
Be ripe with the fruit of compassion, sweetly sustaining those in need. May we use our gifts wisely and with love, true messengers of blessing to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. We continue with Shalom Rav, page 358. If you know the melody, please join me. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Ki atam lechadom lechol hashalom. Ki atam lechadom lechol hashalom. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam.
Shalom Rav is a prayer recited each and every Shabbat in which we ask for the gift of abundant peace, peace of mind, of body, and of soul. Well, certainly on this, the Shabbat of our major festival of Sukkot, a festival where we celebrate the bounty of the harvest and the beauty of this time of year, indeed there is a great deal to be thankful for, especially since you and I are privileged to come here and join Dari and her family in the safety and beauty and elegance of our sanctuary. And none of us had to fear when we entered here. In addition, I'm sure that earlier in the day, you weren't worried where your next meal was coming from. You were only concerned with your choices and what you would eat. In the same way, when you went to look to get dressed for tonight, I can't imagine too many of you said, "Oh, I only have the one outfit I can possibly put on." And indeed, you looked at a closet brimming and said, "What should I wear?" When we pause during a holiday to thank God for our bounty, it's to understand how lucky we all are, and that in truth we all have too much and don't share enough. Dari's actually going to talk to you about that today, as she shares with you how she has found a way with her family and friends to share what she has of hers. But it's a lesson that all of us could learn, particularly during this holiday of Sukkot and during the Shabbat of plenty. We pause for a few moments.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vigoali,
The highlight of any service is when we prepare to take the Torah from the ark, pass it generation to generation, and then allow Dari to walk through the congregation with the Torah, offering it to any of those who would like to accept it as their own. And so in preparation for this part of the service, it's a pleasure to welcome forward parents and grandparents to come take your places. Dari, if you would take your place, please. And we are going to invite those to open the ark doors, Aunts Susan and Wendy, together with Uncle Louis. And I'd ask everyone to rise, please.
Ki mitzion titzei Torah, Ki mitzion titzei Torah, udivar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch She'aseh Torah, Torah, Baruch She'aseh Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael,
Well, once again, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And it is a pleasure to welcome you here. I see many familiar faces and some who I haven't seen since you were here celebrating with Sydney just a few years ago. And others, we just celebrated the holidays together. And still others, you may be visiting us for the first time. And whatever it is, welcome to the Temple Har Shalom family and here to celebrate Dari's Bat Mitzvah. And what an exciting day it is. Truthfully, if the sun wasn't shining, her smile would light up the room more than even the sunshine. And Dari, I think that you're actually having some fun, huh? Yeah, just a little. Okay, good. Just enjoying it a bit. Well, in truth, the entire preparation with the cantor and myself has been a pleasure as Dari has so excitedly waited for this moment. It is appropriate to wish all of you a Shana Tova, and I hope for those of you who celebrated, it will be a blessed new year. And I can't think of a better way to begin the new year during this festival of Sukkot, when Dari, because she is becoming a Bat Mitzvah in the afternoon during what is known as the Mincha service, she actually gets to start the Torah anew. It only happens once a year. And truthfully, Dari, if it wasn't Shabbat, I'd tell you to go play the lottery. Because anybody who pulls this portion is indeed a very lucky young man or young woman, and indeed, your luck is continuing tonight. So it's such a pleasure when we are opening the Torah. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Torah scroll, please allow me just to refresh your memory. Every Torah scroll, and we are fortunate enough to have 5 in this congregation, are exactly the same. They contain the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It will take us 1 full year from today, right, Barry? 1 full year from today to read through the entire scroll, the entire 5 books, until we then will start it all over again. Now, the question you should all be asking yourselves is, we've been reading this book for how long? These stories for how long? Millennia. You would think we would get it right already. And the issue is the fact that each generation, like Dari, stands up to chant Torah over and over again, is because we hope with each new generation we'll pay more attention and get it right. Well, there's some very interesting facts that happen in this Torah portion, some that teach us our most main traditions. For instance, it contains the 6 days of creation, and on the 7th day we rest, hence what is known as the Shabbat, the day of rest. We also learn that Jewish holidays, unlike any other holiday on any other calendar, be it the secular calendar, the Greek calendar, the Latin calendar, when do Jewish holidays begin? When do our holidays begin? What part of the day? Sundown, which is the exact opposite of the rest of the world. And it's in Dari's portion that we learn why that happens. Because God created night and then morning. God created night first. So therefore, in our tradition, the Jewish days begin at sundown. Not like a solar calendar, like we begin a new day as the sun rises. We begin the day like it sets, because it says so in the Torah. The other thing we learn about in the story of creation is not only the creation of all of the gifts that God has given us, but most appropriately, the creation of human beings. After every day of creation, God takes note of the beauty of the environment, of the water, of the animals, of the sea creatures, and says, aren't these beautiful and isn't this good? Until God gets to the creation of people. And then what happens? God doesn't say that we are good. Bottom line is we're not. Bottom line is we have to spend every day of every week, of every month, of every year making ourselves better. Once again, Dari has an incredible teaching for us that will remind us how we can make choices to be good and kind and generous. Dari, sort of like you. If the portion talks about how one can make ourselves good, in truth, I think you only need to look at the young lady on the bima. Because in truth, it's rare that a young person enters this temple on her way to a lesson and will always pop her head in and say, "Hi, Rabbi, how are you?" And actually engage adults in conversation. But in truth, it's not just a fact of being polite, it's a fact of genuinely caring. And indeed, you will find that in this little package comes a big heart with an even bigger smile and a great deal of pride in who she is and where she comes from. And for that, of course, we can contribute and attribute it to her family. So just like your sister before you, Dari, you're about to take your place as a bat mitzvah and chant from these very sacred words as you open the Torah anew.
If you'd like to follow along in this afternoon's Torah portion, you can do so by opening the other large blue book in front of you in the pews that says the Torah to page 18.
And now before Dari chants, there are those who are going to bless. And the very first aliyah goes to all of her grandparents as we call them forward now.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaBarach, Baruch Adonai HaBarach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'cha banu mikol ha'amim, v'nasan lanu es Toraso, Baruch atah Adonai nosein ha'torah.
Amen. Breshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayita tohu vavo ve'hoshech al pnei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachafet al pnei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or vayhi or vayar Elohim et or ki tov Vayavdel Elohim ben haor uven hahoshech. Vayikra Elohim laor yom velahoshech kara laila vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad.
Beautiful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasan lanu Torah zamet, mechayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai nosein ha'torah.
Amen. And please come around this way if you can. We'd love to have you. Stay right here, please. Come around. Beautiful. And for our second aliyah, what a pleasure to welcome back to the Bima your sister Sydney.
Baruch et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'omim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai nosein ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Elohim yehi rakia beto hamayim ve'im avdil ben mayim lamayim vayas Elohim et harakia vayavdel ben hamayim asher mitahat larakia uven hamayim asher me'al larakia vayichain vayikra Elohim larakia shemayim Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, yom sheni.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein ha'torah.
Amen. And now for our third Aliyah. Dari, what a pleasure it is to welcome forward your parents, Lori and Michael.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'na'asan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Elohim, Yikavu Hamayim, Mitahat Hashemayim, El Makom Ehad, V'tera'eh Hayabasha, Vayichin, Vayikra Elohim, Mayabasha, Erech, Umigvei Hamayim, Kara, Yom Elohim, Yamim, Vayar Elohim, Ki Tov.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. I'm going to announce it. And now the honor of calling Darren to the Torah as a bat mitzvah officially always goes to the one who stood here before her, her sister.
Ta'amod, Dalia Ariel bat Myram v'chlea, lichvod haTorah habat mitzvah.
Just give her the blessing.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Elohim, Tatshe ha'aretz, Deshe Yisef Mazri Yazera Eitz Peri Ose Pri Leminohu Asher Zar Ovo Al Haaretz Vayichein Batotse Haaretz Deshe Yisef Mazri Yazera Leminehu Ve'etz Ose Pri Asher Not Sharvo Al Haaretz Vayar Elohim Ki Tov. Vahi Erev, Vahi Boker, Yom Shlishi.
Beautiful. Ready?
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Mazel tov. Your sister's going to give you a mazel tov, and then she's going to go sit down.
To our baby Darian on her birthday weekend in Bat Mitzvah. Recently, I saw someone posted online suggesting that a parent should assign every family member and every person you love to write you a letter that could go in a time capsule for you to open in 6 years during your senior year of high school. I knew when I saw that I'd be writing your Bat Mitzvah speech soon. So admittedly, for the past several weeks, I've had many versions of what I'd like to say to you, just like I did for your sister Sydney. And thinking of this makes me want to cry. Because 13, how are you 13? There's something about having another middle school child who's approaching a size to share my shoes, don't even think about it, who is becoming more responsible every minute. Trying to embrace you now feels like someone too close to my own height. And I find myself trying to hug you and hold on to a younger, smaller version of you, always telling you to stay little. This all makes me feel like Dad and I are getting old, and that it's all going too fast, and that I'm going to blink and you're going to be in your senior year of high school before I've had a chance to process the years between now and then. I don't wish them away, not at all. I never want to hold you back, but I like that you're still our baby girl and that we've got several years with you under our roof. Darian, you are, in a word, spectacular. You are really funny. You get that from your dad, not surprising, as many of you know how much he makes us all laugh every day. You are responsible, intelligent, hardworking, talented, creative, beyond kind-hearted, and just beautiful. I left that one for last because all the other attributes that describe you matter so much more. You are someone that sees everything in the world through a lens I wish others used. You're a bit sassy and sarcastic, but yet tremendously gracious. In short, you are everything we could have ever asked for and so much more we couldn't have even dreamed of. From the moment you were born, you can imagine your dad and I, two separate individuals, looked at this miraculous fusion of us, but you weren't us at all. You had his eyes and his big smile on your face, but you were you. A totally unique blend of genetics infused with your own portion of each of us. You brought with you your own heart, your own free will, and your own destiny. You are fierce, you're tender, and you're loyal. And there are times when I catch a glimpse of who you will be when you're older, and it's simply amazing. Your dad and I are proud when we see you complete things you don't think you can get done. You dig deep within and far exceed. We're proud when you thank us for doing something special for you, and when we see you with our friends, and we know that you're so entertaining and you're so witty with them. We're proud when you make your own plans with your own friends because you just get it. You have that special something with each special person in your life. The fact that you get the importance of that shows us just how much you understand your legacy and your heritage. You're a fierce protector of family values, and we're proud of you when you do nothing at all and when you just are, because it's not all about the big moments. You bring joy to our lives in small ways too. You are the dog whisperer for Rhodey, and you care so much about his wants and needs every day. You aren't totally perfect. You do bother your sister Sydney and are prone to hangry moments when you walk in and say, "I'm hungry," but that's easily adjusted once fed. And 13 years ago, I held you in my arms for the first time. And now I am thinking of today, this year, and 6 years from now, and how you're not a baby, not even close. You're right smack in the middle of this thing called growing up, and we think you're turning into a spectacular young woman, and we're so happy about that. As you embark on this next chapter and transition into Jewish adulthood, remember some core pillars that are really important to hold on to. Always try to put yourself in other people's shoes, especially when you find yourself passing judgment. Try to look from different angles and see all sides of a situation, even if you can't fully understand what someone feels or where someone is coming from. Try anyway. At the same time, don't put yourself into shoes that don't belong to you or that don't fit you just because they look good on someone else. Be who you are and avoid being who you know you're not. Always ask questions and ask for help. Asking questions makes you smarter, and asking for help makes life easier. You don't have to take people's answers for truth. In fact, it's always best to cross-reference that answers that are supposedly fact. But always ask, especially when you meet people from other places who are different than you. Ask them about themselves, their thoughts, their impressions of things. People are fascinating, and most of them want to share. And don't be too hard on yourself, and this is the most important, but don't be too easy on yourself either. Perfectionism is limiting and impossible to sustain. Perfectionism will lead you to quit things prematurely and not start things at all. Setting high goals is good. Striving for excellence, absolutely, but don't confuse excellence with perfection. Everyone can reach their own level of excellence with discipline and love and reasonably high expectations. There are so many more pieces of wisdom to share, but let's leave some for later because I want you to develop your own pieces of insight. And as you make mistakes and learn, you'll grow from them. And you will. We've all been there, done that. It hurts sometimes, but Dad, your amazing sister Sydney, and I will always be here with hugs and kisses and tissues whenever it's necessary to make it better. Darian, we're so proud of you, who you are, and we're so thankful for you and our family every single day. We may hit some rough spots in the coming years, but we will always be here for you, and our love will never wane or fade. We're in this growing up thing together, and we're always here if you need us. Mazel tov on your bat mitzvah, and happy 13th birthday, Doodle. We love you to the sun and the moon and back again, and to infinity and way, way beyond.
It is now time to lift and dress the Torah. It's a pleasure to welcome forward Aunt Karen and Uncle Robert, and I'd ask everyone to rise, please.
Please be seated. Our Torah service continues with the chanting of the Haftarah, the additional and prophetic portion read on all Shabbatot and holidays. This afternoon's Haftarah comes from the prophet Isaiah. It can be found on page 320 in your Chumashim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'mvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah u'Moshe avdo Yisrael amo v'yei ha'emet b'tzedek. Ko amar ha'el Adonai borei hashamayim v'notehem roka ha'aretz v'tzetza'eha notin neshama la'am aleha v'ruach Elohim ba. Ani Adonai kirati v'tzedek v'achzik v'yadeha v'etzarha v'etenha livrit am la'or goyim. Lifkach inayim ivrot lahotzi mimasker asir mi beit kele yoshvet hoshech. Ani Adonai hu shmi ufadi la'ar la'otin utilati lapsilim. Larishanot hineva'u lahadashot ani magid beteram titzmachna ashmia etem. Shiru Adonai shir hadash tihilato Adonai haaretz yordei hayom umleo im vayoshvehem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'amim sadik bechol havdarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'osei hamdaber umkayim shekol livarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al hudah ve'al nivim ve'ayom hashabbat hazeh shenatan lanu Adonai Eloheinu litushav olinu ha lehavot lo tifaret. Al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim la, umvarchim ota, yitbarach shimha befi kol hai, tami le'olam va'ed, baruch ata Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Thank you.
It is now time for us to return the Torah to the Ark and to open the Ark doors. It's a pleasure to welcome aunts and uncle and family friends Dory and Carol and Robert and Tammy and Adam. And I'd ask everyone to rise, please. You may all be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to this week's Torah portion, Bereshit, from the book of Genesis. The word Bereshit can mean in the beginning or at the start, and my Torah portion is all about creation. In the beginning or at the start, God created living creatures of every type. God made wild and domestic animals, and he saw how good it was. Then God said, "Let us make human beings in our image." He said to the human beings, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and tame it." God gave the humans food through seed-bearing plants and every tree that had seed-bearing fruits. What God created was good. Every human being has the choice to be good or to be bad. In the beginning, some people were good and some were bad. Today, throughout the world, there's good and there's bad. Even in this very sanctuary, there are good people who make or have made bad decisions. This Torah portion is important to me because we are all trying to figure out what our real purpose is here. I feel that my purpose is to take all that I've been given and get the most out of my abilities while helping others do the same. That includes making good decisions even when it is difficult. Being a young woman in the Jewish religion comes with some accountability and responsibility. I'm sure as the years approach, I will be faced with some difficult decisions, and making a good one or the right one will be very important. My Torah portion also talks about image. How do I want to be viewed, or what is my image? This part is troubling for me as I see people do things all the time based on what they think others will think of them, instead of doing what might be the right decision. I work very hard on trying not to worry about my image or what others think of me. Instead, I try to make the best decisions possible while being aware of how they may affect other people. I make a cautious choice to try to be good, and I know that my image or how I am viewed will take care of itself. My decisions need to feel right to me and to help me to feel good about who I am and what I stand for. As the great Alexander Hamilton once said, "If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything." The daily choice between good and bad has been around forever, and we all struggle with it at times. All of us have had the chance to be good even when things go bad. If you get a grade on an exam that you weren't happy with, do you blame the teacher and say the test was unfair, or do you figure out what you did wrong and work on it? If you are on a team and you don't play as much as you would like, do you blame the coach and have your parents write emails and complain, or do you approach the coach and ask, "What do I need to work on in order to get more playing time?" There is always an opportunity to be good even when bad things happen. That's really when your image will be made and how you will be defined. The decision between good and bad is all around us. That is what made my Torah portion so special. I would ask each and every one of you to think about your decisions between good and bad tonight. When you see someone at the party that you are not best friends with or you don't know very well, will you be nice to them and include them in your conversation, or will you choose the other option? If you are speaking with someone tonight who you may not be best friends with, will you say nice things about them when they walk away, or will you choose the other option? This is the difference between good and bad. Who do you really want to be deep down inside? The choice is yours, and it will ultimately create your image. Yes, I made the choice to work very hard towards my bat mitzvah, and I also thought a lot about what it means to be a good young Jewish adult. One of the first things that came to mind was tzedakah, which is defined as charitable giving, typically seen as a moral obligation. Therefore, doing something selfless and really good, like a mitzvah project, is a great way of doing something good and giving back to the community in honor of this milestone occasion in my life. I decided to do a mitzvah project to help children in need, and I want to start by thanking my Auntie Dory for introducing our family to the most amazing charity, Blessings in a Backpack. Together with my sister Sydney, our friends Evan and Alana Druskin, my neighbors Luke and Danny Adichiria, and so many other friends and families in my life, we adopted the Greater Brunswick Charter School in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Blessings in a Backpack provides backpacks of food for the students at this school to take home over the weekends, because more often than not, they are hungry and don't get enough food on Saturdays and Sundays. I have spent one-on-one time with the students on special holidays and packed backpacks at this school, and with the money we have raised, we feed over 170 kids per week at this school. I love making lemonade stands at our corner to raise money and awareness, and fortunately, I have raised money by reaching out to my friends and family to help support this great cause, and I want to thank you all for your continued support. Many of our family friends in this room made so many dreams come true for these families in need over the holidays for the past few years. I plan on continuing to support Greater Brunswick Charter School through the rest of middle school and high school, because it makes me feel great to help others, especially kids. If anyone ever wants to come with me to help pack backpacks or donate food to the school, please let me know. It is a very rewarding experience. The time of my bat mitzvah coincides with the holiday of Sukkot, which is traditionally a time of charitable giving. In honor of my bat mitzvah, we have donated these 2 bima baskets, which will feed families in need through a wonderful Temple Har Shalom charity, which many of you know, called Need to Feed. I am here today becoming a bat mitzvah for many reasons. Most importantly, it is to carry on a family tradition. My parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins all had bar and bat mitzvahs. Another great tradition I hope to carry on is the continuation of my Jewish education into adulthood, since it is very important to me. I want to thank my parents, my sister, Rabbi, and Cantor for everything they have done to help me to prepare for my bat mitzvah today. Without them, I would not be standing here before you. And I would like to end on a personal prayer which I wrote in honor of this special day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher. I hope that people will always challenge themselves to be good and do their best to help others and support, since it is very rewarding and fulfilling. Shabbat Shalom.
So Darian, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Mazel, you feeling better now? Yes, good. You should. You should feel wonderful about yourself and what you've accomplished. And it makes it a whole lot easier for us to say happy birthday. And I hope that you will now enjoy yourself thoroughly as you can relax and enjoy this incredible bat mitzvah day in which you've accomplished so much. As your parents said, you can put your efforts forward, and as you said, if you don't accomplish it, there's no one to blame but yourself. Because when someone accomplishes what you have done today, yes, you've had a lot of help, but ultimately it's your cooperation that needs to make it happen. And for that, we're very proud of you. So Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Well, the congregation would like to say thank you and Mazel Tov to you as well. We have some special gifts for you, and we always ask a leader of our congregation to come forward. And how special when it can also be a great family friend. So it's wonderful to invite forward Anna Bryant.
Thank you.
Mazel tov, Darian, and to your parents, Lori and Mike, and your sister, Sydney. You must all be very proud. It is truly an honor on behalf of Temple Har Shalom Sisterhood Board to be here with you and your family today. I've had the pleasure of knowing Darian since her and Avery met in kindergarten at Mount Horeb Elementary School, and they have been inseparable ever since. It has been an honor watching Dari grow from an adorable little girl into a beautiful young lady. Darian chose Blessings in a Backpack as her charity for her Mitzvah project. The money she raised was donated to the New Jersey Kids Care chapter to help feed 170 students at the Greater Brunswick Charter School in New Brunswick, New Jersey. She has spent a lot of time at this special school and does everything from pack backpacks to donate clothing, food, and special meals during the holidays. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the Sisterhood, and the Men's Club, I am honored to present you with these gifts: an Israel bond to strengthen your connection to our lands and people, a Kiddush cup to sweeten all your happy Jewish occasions, a book of Jewish teachings to guide you into the future, your Bat Mitzvah certificate, which I hope you hang above your bed, a one-year membership to the Bridgewater JCC, and a gift certificate towards a teen trip to Israel. We look forward to sharing more of the journey with you. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, Derry, but I think this crowd is now in a party mood. You think? Yes, they're energized, they're excited, and they want to celebrate with you. So we are going to prepare to conclude our service. We need to return to our prayer books, page 586, and to open the ark doors. It is a pleasure to welcome forward aunt, uncle, and cousins, Lori and Bruce, Julie and Brad. And I'd ask everyone to rise, please.
Aleinu לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצאי בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
May God bless you and keep you. May God shine upon you and always be gracious to you. May God grant you a long life filled with spiritual, mental, and physical well-being, as we all say, amen. I would ask that you please remain standing, for at this time in our service, as we do each and every time we come together as a community, we remember those who are no longer physically present with us, but who are very much alive within our hearts and within our memories. On this Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Roger Klott, Henry Morris Kaplan, Alan Mark Kelsey, Marilyn Learoff, Edward Oleski, Lionel Paradise, Edward Stommel, and Ethel Weisberg. We remember 4 who have been taken from us in recent days: Paul Roy Dickinson, Mildred Feldman, Doris Graff Notarius, and Gloria Milder. Always as a community, we remember those of the American Armed Forces and the Israel Defense Forces who have given their lives in defense of our nation and the land of Israel. And on this afternoon of Bat Mitzvah, we do remember those upon whose shoulders Darian stands this very day. Together with her great-grandparents, we remember her grandfather, Stephen Cohn. Together, the memories of all of our beloved are with us as we praise God and thank God for the lives we were privileged to know and to share. It is our custom to recite the Kaddish prayer together as a congregation so that no mourner need ever stand alone. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalmad yivrach Yerutei v'yamlech malchutei v'hayechona v'yomechona v'chayed l'kol Beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemeru kudusha brichu. Le'olam mim kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba mim shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru amen. We pray that the source of peace will send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us, as we all say, amen. Amen. You may be seated. Well, I know many of you will be leaving almost immediately after our service to make your way to the celebration. Please do so safely and enjoy to your heart's content the wonderful simcha of this in Dari and her family's life. And we hope there'll be many more happy Jewish occasions that will bring you back into our midst. And to leave us on a sweet and bountiful note, it is time to bless the wine and the challah. So Darian, come on up. Sydney, come on back and join her together with Jacob and Gabriel, Samantha and Lily, Julia and Elliot, Haley. Come on up. And here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
All right, get ready to eat. Are you ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Pull it apart. Go to it.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Go. We wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. I'll give this to your dad, Michael.